My next guest is a really, really cool kid. They call him, and I've asked this. I checked out this guy with a lot of people because the first time I heard it, I went, yeah, well, sure. Then I heard it again. Then I heard it again. Then I asked him. But they say he's the next Holton Buggs. And I am telling you what, nobody ever said that about me, probably because I'm 25 years older than Holton Buggs.
And I love Holton.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, this kid's got game. He's down at the University of Houston. He is a senior there. And he's got an intern's job, and I am telling you, his girlfriend is a student of entrepreneurship at the same college, and also a rock star. And these two kids are going to change the world. And when you meet them, you're going to know it the minute you meet them. I've never met intellect, self-confidence, and a great look all tied into one person. And I believe this guy. And I said to him, what pops your eyes open at 2 o'clock in the morning? And I'll never forget the answer. He says, Tom, my eyes aren't closed at 2 o'clock in the morning. I've just gotten off that job, and all I think about all day long is how I don't have to do that for the rest of my life, and how I can build myself a business that's going to let me do with my life what I want, whenever I want, however I want. CLS Smith, Chris Smith, Mr. Smith, how are you, buddy?
I am doing great, Tom. How about yourself this day?
Oh, my gosh. I love you. How's that little girlfriend?
She's doing great. She's actually on her way back to the apartment right now. We're going to be doing some cleaning and preparing for a meeting later on today.
That a baby. So network marketing. I mean, people have lined you up and called you the heir apparent to apparently a guy that's actually mentored you because you live in Houston, Holton Buggs. How did you get the bug, and how did you get this attitude that you've got?
Well, it's a funny story. It most likely came from my childhood. You know, I grew up back in Beaumont, Texas, and growing up real early on, my parents had split apart. And I always remember to this day, one thing that my dad said to me when that happened is that you're going to have to grow up really fast, and you're going to have to be the man of the house. Now, Tom, let me tell you this. I probably took that a little too literal because I didn't just become the man of the house, but I became the lead, the head, the man of everything that I put my hands on, all the way from, middle school, throughout high school, coming to college, president of student organizations, leader of all the teams, all the accolades. But one thing that I will never forget is that my dad told me I have to be that man. And that's what I've grown up to be. So I think that's where it came from, Tom.
But he planted that flag. He planted that seed. He told you that's who you were going to be. And basically you believed it as true, and never was there a doubt. You just stood up and said, bring it on, right?
Yeah, I really didn't have a choice at that time. So I guess that's what I did.
So you're a senior in college now.
I'm a senior in college at the University of Houston. Go Cougs, studying mechanical engineering.
And you're also an intern.
Yes, sir. Mechanical engineering internship.
And you got this little home-based business bug that is just absolutely consuming you, and you are committed that you are not only going to be good at it, but you're going to take a ton of people with you.
Yes, as many people as want to see their dreams come true, like when they were a kid, they wanted to fly, they wanted to be a firefighter, they wanted to play, in the professional sports. As many of those people as I can bring with me, I will be able to see them throughout their success, and that will actually satisfy me for my entire life.
That is very cool. And the industry, I mean, how long have you studied it? I mean, how is it you are so passionate about it right now that it's actually got you like reevaluating the way your future is going to look when you grow up?
Well, Tom, you know how people say when someone tells you no about whether it's a toy that you want or a piece of candy or that you can't do something, it kind of starts to burn inside you and makes you want to do it even more.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
when
where
I was
where you
younger,
sit.
that's where I sit, because when I was younger, my mom, she told me that this is not going to work because I saw some ad on television late at night. I wasn't supposed to be up. I said, how are you going to make
CLS,
this?
I got to take a fast break. We're going to do this, and then we're going to come back. We're going to bring you on, then we'll... In the house, we have got CLS Smith with us. Great kid. Just an amazing kid. And we've been talking about network marketing, the future of network marketing, the fact that this profession is in the hands of these kids, and the economy has never been better for something to be in the hands of these kids as it is right now. This is it, because everybody is looking at these college loans, borrowing all this money to get an education they don't even think they want, graduate in their field, have to go start again at the bottom if they can even get a job in that field, and looking at those huge payments going, what the heck did my parents talk me into? And that's kind of where everybody's sitting. And CLS Smith has decided to kind of grab the bull by the horns and be the leader and the voice in this movement to get us out of there. He was following a guy that I've known for 10 years, a guy named Dakota Ray, that now is like old to these little college kids. So let's go back to my good buddy CLS Smith right now, and we'll take her from there. So CLS, I mean, I think you are in the driver's seat because every kid out there really needs what you're trying to sell them.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. And, when there's a movement that's happening, there's always somebody that's leading it. And if I have to take that by the head, that's what I'll do. But I'm not the most important one. That's something that I just want everyone to know. The people that are most important are the ones that are coming along, the ones that are actually duplicating that vision and attaching themselves to it, because it would be nothing without them.
No question about it. So how do they do that? I mean, they call you on the phone. What do you normally say to a kid? Because I talk to kids all the time, and the first thing they tell me is the other kids don't have any money, which I think is hocus pocus, or the other kids don't have any ambition and all they want to do is drink and eat pizza. What all of that is true, all of that isn't true? Tell me a story.
Well, I'll tell you a story about a group of kids that I got right now, just young as could be, just fresh out of high school. Some of them are still in high school. And what they want to do, Tom, is party, is drink, is do all of those things. But they do understand one thing. It takes money for them to be able to do it. So the way that I approach them is say, hey, look, I know you like partying. I know you like to have fun, go to the clubs, go to all the big music festivals, this and that. But do you want to be able to do that as much as possible, or just when your bank account allows you to do it? And most of their answers, I want to do it now.
Do they understand that at the age that you guys all are, do they really understand how much money it takes to live life? I mean, I've got a 22-year-old, and so I'm always in the world of budgeting how expensive his life is with cell phones and insurance and apartments and cars and living life. It costs kids. You can't make it and have much fun in life on a minimum wage job out there today. They've got to make some money, and there's nothing like a little network marketing business to be able to get you out of that minimum wage rank and actually raise it. Is it hard to get that point across to people, CLS?
It is, Tom, and the reason is because most of the kids, they never really had to work for anything up until this point. There are a certain number, like myself, that have been working since they were 14, 15. But for the most part, they don't understand that once you get out of college or once you get out of high school, life takes a toll on your bank account, and your bank account better be ready for it. So it's really difficult to get that point across.
Yeah, that's a good point. So as a leader, and what is your goal? I mean, what is it you want to do? How does your life look in 5 years? You've obviously got a business plan. You've got a college education that you're going to have in the can here in a few months. What is the business plan for you 5 years from now? Where are you going to be?
Well, Tom, 5 years from now, my plan is to be traveling as much as possible, not having fun, but traveling, talking to people that are in the situation that I am in now, or were in the situation that I was in, 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was the most negative person against this industry. I just knew that I was going to work for the rest of my life, and I was going to retire when I was 65 years old with everything, and I kind of figured out that that's not it. So I want to teach kids, teach young adults, teach even the older generation that there is another option. There are more opportunities out there for them to actually go out there and run for and actually achieve and actually, work hard for, because you don't have to be stuck doing things you don't want to do for people you don't want to do them for. And as you know, Tom, for the amount of money that you don't like.
That's awesome. So talking to children, I know you're not a children. That's what I look. I'm 63 years old. I'm 3 times older than CLS. I mean, it's insanity when you start thinking about how much older, and we've got to throw this baton to people like you. How do people get a hold of you, CLS?
How do they get a hold of me as far as my cell phone or email or Facebook or, or is that what
how would you tell people to do that?
Yeah, well, you just go and you can email me at theonlycls@gmail.com. That's TheOnlyCLS@gmail.com. Or you can call me on my cell phone, and, with technology, you can send me a text message. I'll answer your text message. And my phone number is 409-455-7956.
One more time on the phone number.
409-455-7956.
And his email is at Gmail, the only CLS. Now, what about...
So we have Dakota's on hold.
Okay,
so we can
what
bring
about
him
old people like me? Do you believe in listening to old people like me? I mean, is it something that you guys even bother with, or are you just going so fast? And talk to me about Holton Buggs as a mentor real quickly, then we'll talk to Dakota Ray too. So take it away.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I listen to all the late and great in this industry. And with Mr. Buggs, every time I'm around him, I can tell you that I learn something new. Now, you won't see us young kids doing the traditional sense of network marketing or traditional sense of business. But one thing that I believe in is taking the already pre-existing knowledge, the pre-existing wisdom, and just adding a little innovation to it. So that will allow us to jump ahead of the curve because you've already experienced it. You've already gone through it, and we can take it and expand on it. So that's how I go about it, and that's what I want to teach to the, Generation Y as a whole.
That's very, very cool. Well, I am telling you, I want people to contact you. A guy that you jumped in the foxhole with